Welcome everyone to another episode of Time for Mental Health. Time for Mental Health is a podcast where we aim to normalize the sharing of mental health experiences. Join with me today, Viaano, founder of Huddle Humans, Talya, co-founder of Huddle Humans, and Keegan, producer of the show. I'm your host, Fabian, and today we'll be talking about the many things in life that cause us to worry. How do we cope with these worries? And also, last but not least, how does Keegan get out from bed every day because of these worries? Stay tuned to find out more. So what are some of the struggles that we face in our daily lives, and how do these struggles, right, or stresses cause us to worry or put anxiety, give us anxiety from time to time? I'll go first. Currently, I'm studying, and at the same time, I'm doing these podcasts and stuff. So, studying, especially during exam, give me a lot of stress. And there's deadlines for all the submissions and stuff. And also, the financial markets not doing very well. Yeah, it's been like every day I've been getting some headaches. But
That's one of your hobbies, right?
Yeah.
Your personal interests.
my hobbies are giving me stress.
Is that a hobby or is that a vice?
That might be advice. How about you guys?
I think I struggle with uncertainty, like uncertainty of my future, and I guess now, like right now, the struggles I have is more like to do with work lah, because like I'm like in the midst of a lot of like projects and like business that is like starting out kind of thing. So it's like I don't have like a stable like source of income or stable job kind of things. But then the things I do, I'm passionate about. It's not the usual type of like way that people usually go in life lah. But I'm thankful I get to do these things. But it's definitely there's the uncertainty there. Like will people receive, and like will I be able to earn enough income and like have a stable future, that sort of thing lah. But there's some stuff I worry about lah.
One that everyone kind of already knows is that I personally have struggled with anxiety. So there are times, even when it's not an active situation that induces this anxiety, even passively, there's this involuntary symptoms of anxiety that does surface, whether physiologically or physically or mentally. It's really hard because I'm not in that. I don't ask for it. It just happens involuntary. So there's a passive and an active state of this anxiety. So, I guess how I cope with it was that there's a couple of ways. I'm not going to list that list of ways how I cope, but I'll just name a few. I think one way that I cope with it that really helps me a lot, and I think many of my friends know, is that I don't drink coffee. I don't drink caffeine. I take it out of my diet. I actually focus on healthy meals, and I also focus on my sleep. And this really helps me a lot coping with this anxiety situations or the symptoms of anxiety. Yeah, it makes me, like when I sleep more, I actually feel better, when I wake up and then I set out in my day. And also, I don't know, it's just that when I drink a lot of caffeine, I notice that my eyes twitch a lot, my hands tremor more, and like involuntary, like, I don't know, the caffeine just induces this sort of thing in my body.
Yeah, that's a great segue to our second point, where we're talking about how to cope with the stresses that we have. Right? And what Viaano mentioned was pretty much true. Like he stopped the coffee. And all these are like what they call problem-focused strategies. So they actually tackle the problem.
Yes, but like I said, for everyone is different. This is my way, my unique way of coping with my sort of like problem or stress.
And for me, taking on my example for like studies wise, right? Sometimes there are many deadlines, and there are also many things in between for the podcast. I also use a lot of problem-focused strategies. So things like Notion. I mean, everybody knows Notion. You can actually like Google or YouTube, like find like dashboards and find like some schedule
to organize yourself, to set schedules,
calendars. I used to do it on a whiteboard. I still do it, but my whiteboard is mostly for the task to do today, and everything else will be on Notion now. It's been doing well.
Nice. Yeah, I do something similar. Like every day I try to set 3 goals. I used to use this planner app also lah, but then I think slowly I also got a bit lazy lah. But then I at least write down 3 goals I have for the day of my post-it or something. And not all the time I target it. I mean, not all the time I complete it, but I just try lah.
So there's also another end of the spectrum, which is emotion-focused strategies. Sometimes when you face life's adversaries, you get emotionally distraught or you feel very sad during that period, right? Maybe with the passing of your loved one or with maybe retrenchment or something. These strategies are more focused to work on the emotions more so than focusing on the problem itself lah. Yeah, I think for Talya, is art one of your...
Actually, yeah, when I was younger, like, because I struggled with depression and like after fights and things like that with my family, like I'll go into quite a spiral, and something that helped me cope was poetry. So I would write out all my feelings and everything in a secret blog that I used to have actually also. And it really helped to like just write all those words out and express it. Sometimes it didn't make sense, but it's just like helped to express. And with art also helped to express deep-seated emotions that I couldn't like. It was hard for me to have an outlet to talk to someone about it. So art and poetry was my outlet lah. Yeah.
Kind of like journaling also. Like you journal your experiences and then you can see like the emotions you feel and really dissect and
It's like organizing all the
Yeah.
emotions, making sense of it and having a control over it.
yes.
Yeah.
Sports can also be an outlet, Yeah. I hate sports, but I think for me, right, the strategies that may work for you, they may work, but the thing about it is you have to really set aside the time. Like for me, I'll set aside this time, like 1 hour after this, at the end of the day, give myself this reward, so I don't feel like stress brings over to the next day.
I know what reward you're talking about. Alcohol, I know where for you.
No.
Isn't that the reward?
I'm not sure about that.
No.
Fabian,
Chocolate? Is it
As
chocolate?
in dopamine, right? As in the brain rewards, right?
Yeah.
It's
no,
dopamine.
like
for-
little alcohol.
So what, this is like an extrinsic motivation.
Like Asahi.
Is it? It is. It's an external reward, right?
Yeah, external.
I mean, like, I know, like, for example, art helps me feel good because it targets the reward center of the brain where, like, the dopamine and all those things is, like, being stimulated and it challenges the brain. So that challenge actually helps me feel good. Like, the brain likes these sort of challenges kind of thing. So that's what's happening for art lah, when it's expressed with the heart.
Fascinating.
Continuing from art, I think music also helps. It can help with relieving our emotions, right? So for me, I don't think it's a good method, but it's once in a while if you apply, it's pretty okay.
It's a form of copium.
A form of copium, yeah. So like when you listen to sad songs, you get sad, right? So if you listen to happy songs, you get happy. So if you're having a down day, this is not the best thing to do. Maybe you can listen to some happy songs instead of listening to sad songs. Music has emotions inside, and when you put them together with your own emotions, they may play a role.
Interesting.
Is it happy songs or happy sounding songs?
Good question.
No, there are some.
I think happy sounding.
Because there
I
are
think
some
there's
happy sounding
studies,
songs with pretty disturbing lyrics.
True.
So the lyrics don't matter.
Maybe
in that
both
case,
lah. Maybe have to both.
Maybe both side happy.
Both lyrics, as in some like. Actually, I used to listen to heavy metal a lot.
Yeah.
Like in those days when I was a bit more like
It's quite
darker.
therapeutic.
Yeah, it was very
Heavy metal.
therapeutic for me, but I know that it wasn't helping my emotions. It was really bringing me deeper into sadness and depression. And I had to slowly really like
Track back.
Cut it out.
yeah, I mean, I didn't consciously cut it out, but I think the trend in the world was changing. Like indie was becoming the in thing, for example, like light-hearted music was becoming the in thing. So I started going more into that, and then I think like I also gradually like became happier, and like now I actually can't even listen to those music that I used to listen to.
Heavy metal.
Yeah, I actually can't anymore. But I mean, time to time I enjoy rock and stuff. But
You can't as in
like when I listen, I'm very sensitive. Like
you don't like it or you just
Yeah, I
it
don't-
makes you feel sad. Like it makes you depressed.
yeah, I don't enjoy it anymore. Yeah, it doesn't make me feel good lah. Yeah, but
Okay.
I mean, time to time it's also nice to hear lah.
Because this is quite a simple list. I mean, everybody knows sports, music, maybe art. Not everybody knows. But these are common.
Alcohol.
Alcohol is also I don't condone that.
Not recommended,
So
but
it-
it is a
In control.
It is.
In control.
Okay, there's two. Just cut in.
amount.
That everything in moderation, right? There is two categories, right? There's adaptive coping and there's maladaptive coping. Alcohol tend to fall under maladaptive. Adaptive means using
Helpful coping
right,
mechanisms. Maladaptive is like you go in a cycle
Yeah.
that does not help you.
helpful coping mechanism versus
Unhelpful.
coping
Right.
mechanisms.
Basically, one target is the problem, one just like get rid of the symptoms, is it?
Yeah, it doesn't help the long term issue.
Yeah.
Like
One
if
is temporary. lah.
yeah, like okay, it makes you feel good in the
It
short
makes you
run.
money,
But then in the long term there are more problems than
Doesn't
originally.
target the
okay,
root
okay.
issue.
Exactly.
And all these.
Yeah.
Things that we can do to relieve these anxieties and stuff is to indulge in our own hobbies, in our own hobbies. I'll just list some. I mean, Singapore is a known fact that most people here like to eat food. They enjoy their food a lot. Yeah.
Correct.
So cafe hopping is probably one of the things. And for me, I enjoy my tea making process. It's
Tea,
it just-
wonderful.
Yeah, there's this ritual to it.
Not
just-
coffee, tea.
Both. Coffee and tea. You pour the drip
So like
coffee,
you were
you make a cup of tea.
like traditional tea making.
I like to watch the videos. They pour on the animals.
You talk like you sit on the floor with like the knees on, and you.
I think you're watching about different videos.
So you feel more calm, more relaxed when you
this-
engage in that process of make tea making or coffee making.
Yeah, do you think it's more like about the process of it? Like
Yeah,
it's something
I
where
really
you
think it's
can
about-
focus on
Yeah,
your
I,
attention.
right. I think it's like, I set aside this maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I put it aside. Sometimes it's not always about facing the problem head on, because sometimes the problem can be too, like maybe the loss of your loved one, right? Like it can really affect you mentally. Sometimes you need to get out of the headspace just for a bit, 10, 15
Yeah.
minutes like that, then come back to the problem.
Yeah, it's like when you see a picture too close to you, you can't really see it clearly. You need
Yeah.
to bring it further.
Moving to our next point, do we follow any quotes, any mantras, How do we find the strength to get out of our bed every single day?
Oh, I know there's one that I used to so-called live by. Like, why spend your life sleeping when you have plenty of time to sleep when you're dead? Like,
Sleep is
it's
the
like,
cousin of death.
I mean, it's like, I should, I'm so like, have gratitude for life and like get out and do something kind of thing. Although now I still struggle a lot with waking up early. But I try.
On that quote actually, quite funny. There's this bodybuilding champion and celebrity has been quite famous. He's called Arnold. Yeah. And people asking him, why do you work out so many days a week? You're basically working out like 7 days a week. you don't need to rest. And then he just replied that journalist or the reporter, it was a famous quote. He said, then what is sleep for? Yeah,
Right.
so he works out so intensively, but his sleep, his daily sleep is his rest. Yeah. No, but anyways, back to the topic. What mantras we follow? I personally follow throughout most of my life this quote. And I think you guys have heard before, is to always take the positives out of the negatives. There are always negative situations that we're in. This is life, right? There's always highs, there's lows, there's positives and negatives. But if you try to reframe the event, you try to reframe your mind and see, okay, see it from a different point of view. Like, okay, from the outlook, okay, this may be negative, but maybe there's something to take away from it. That you grew from this process. You learn, maybe you made a mistake, and now you learn that, okay, I will not do this the next time. I don't make the same mistake twice. So there's always something positive to take out of negative situations. That's how we grow. That's how we learn. That's how we improve and become a better person. Yeah. So that's just one for me.
Sometimes we ourselves cannot find the motivation or the strength to get out of bed, And the second thing to look for is your friends, your families,
Yeah.
social interaction.
Social
I
support.
was yesterday I was actually in a little closed door session with some of the professors in the US, and they were talking about Abraham Maslow. If you all know, it's the hierarchy of needs, right? One very important thing he was talking about coherence, about self-coherence and social interaction. Yeah, really look. If you can't find the energy and strength to get out of bed, sometimes you can always look for your friends. You can share with them like how your week has been, how your day has been. And then one person push each other.
And I think on this topic also, social interaction, I don't know if this may sound controversial, but it may not even have to be physical. It can be online, it can be digital. As long as you're connecting with someone, right? And then you're talking to them, telling about your day or whatever it is. At least you're interacting. Yeah. So that's that's basically what Huddle Humans is. Online.
Shameless plug.
Nah, man. Yeah, but it helps. It does help to talk to someone. Yeah.
Finally, the last thing that I can say is, I mean, it's COVID, but you can definitely go for breaks. Sometimes a change in the whole, like home environment. Sometimes I'll go for breaks like staycations, or just go disappear for a few days.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
I think
Okay.
No. It's relevant. You take breaks. You can disappear if it's legal.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. If it's
Alcohol is definitely involved.
No, I think even like rearranging your room, rearranging your space. Sometimes we just need like a change of space or like organizing our brain,
So,
like externalizing
Maria
that needing, huh?
Huh?
Maria condo, no?
Oh, Marie Kondo. I
Marie
mean,
Kondo.
that one extreme lah. I mean, like, yes, true. It has truth in it.
Yeah. Change an environment, change its
Like,
space.
yeah, it's like Jordan Peterson also always say like one
out
of
your
his
room.
rules of life is to pack your room before organizing your brain, something like that.
Oh.
Like if you can't organize your room, don't bother giving advice to others. That's what he says.
Wow.
Something like that.
Straight up.
As in like it helps to externalize
Yeah,
the
cool.
organization and helps to organize your own site.
Very interesting.
If you can't pack up your room.
I mean, you pack your room, you feel very therapeutic, right?
Yeah,
Kind of
I
thing,
feel-
right? Like
I feel good. Like,
yeah, it helps.
Good,
Or like even just packing your bed in the morning, like
I
that.
think my bed. Where am I going?
Making your bed in the morning, like
Yeah.
it helps. Even though I always very lazy to do it, I'm like, hi mom, she'll scold me. But yeah, like I think just making your bed in the morning helps to like get out properly and just start the day fresh,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Carpe diem.
I hope this episode has helped some of you guys in the audience, right? Because we have a lot of worries, a lot of anxieties, some of the things that we face and how we approach this problem, approach these stresses, be it facing the problem, tackling the problem in a logical manner, or approaching the emotions to our problems. And with that, we have come to the end of the episode. Check us out on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, etc., etc. This is Time for Mental Health. See you guys in the next episode. Bye.
See ya. Yeah, hi everyone. Welcome to another episode of Time for Mental Health. Alright, so today I'm your host. And then we have Talya, co-founder of Huddle Humans. We got Fabian, alternative host. And we got Keegan, producer of the podcast. Yeah, and I'm kidding, myself, founder of Huddle Humans. Okay, so yeah, I was just doing the starter for laughs, but now I hand over hosting duties back to Fabian.